Good morning, students. Welcome to your English class. Today we are going to start with poem 3 of our Behind book, Rain on the Roof by Coates Kelly. This is a lyrical poem, and in this poem, the poet expresses his love for nature and praises the beauty of nature. The poet says, when the clouds, filled with rain vapors, float in the sky, everybody feels thrilled. The sadness weeps in rainy tears, and it is enjoyable to have rest in the cozy bed when it is raining outside. It is very enjoyable to hear the pattering sound of soft rain on the shingles of the roof, and this makes an echo in the poet's heart. Many recollections and fancies take place in the poet's mind, and in his memory, his dead mother's imagination also takes place. He feels happy at this, and he again listens to the pattering sound of rain and gets thrilled. So let us start with the first stanza. When the humid shadow hover over all the starry sphere, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of soft rain over. Let us have a look on the difficult meanings of this stanza. First of all, humid. Humid means something which is full of moisture. Here it refers to the humid cloud. And shadow. Shadow means moisture laden cloud. Here it refers to the moisture laden clouds which cast a shadow on the earth. Hover means move around something. Melancholy means sadness, and bliss is happiness. Patter. Patter means the sound of raindrops falling on the roof, and cottage chamber means bedroom. Here it refers to bedroom of the poet. So when the humid shadow hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. The poet wants to say, when the sky is full of clouds which are full of waters, which are water laden, and they move around in the sky, the sad darkness of night is wiped off by the raindrops, and it seems like tears falling from the sky. Here the poet is comparing raindrops to the tears, and he says that the dark sky, which seems to be very sad, which is denoting the sadness, and it appears as if it is crying, and the raindrops are the tears they are shed by it. Then he says that what a bliss to press the pillow. He says that it is just like a blessing to lie in the bed of his room and listen the pitter patter of the pitter patter means sound made by the raindrops which is falling on the roof. He consider it as a blessing to listen the pitter patter of the raindrops while lying on the bed. So let us have a look at the look at rhyme scheme and literary devices used in this stanza. First of all, rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, and F, E. Now let's have a look at literary devices. First of all is imagery. In this stanza, the poet has used visual imagery. Imagery, as I have already told you, it means to use figurative language to represent the object, the actions, or the ideas in such a way that it appeals to our physical sense. When the humid shadow hover, here the poet has used visual imagery. It seems as if we are having a look at the moisture laden clouds. Okay. The second poetic device which is used in this stanza is alliteration. Alliteration is a poetic device in which the repetition of a consonant sound in two or more consecutive words is used. For example, this humid hour. In first line, humid hour, it is H sound is repeating. In second line, it is starry spheres, S sound is being repeated. And in press pillow, here P sound is repeating. Lie listening, here L sound is repeating. So poetic device used in all these lines is alliteration. Okay. The third poetic device which is used in this stanza is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect or to create auditory imagery. It seems as if we are listening the sound. Here, patter is used as a sound word, and it shows as if we are listening the sound made by the raindrops which is falling on the rooftop. Then again, next poetic device used here is personification. Personification is a poetic device in which we treat a non-living thing as a living thing. When we personify a non-living thing and denote it with personal pronouns, like, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Here, darkness is personified as he says that it is sad. Darkness is a non-living thing and sadness is an attribute of living thing. So here this non-living thing sadness, darkness is provided with the you can say adjective, that is melancholy. Next poetic device which is used in this poem is, in this stanza, is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet, it is the use of an adjective with a noun where it refers to another noun. It is being used with this noun, but it is not referring to this noun. It is referring to some other noun. Like in melancholy darkness, the darkness is not melancholy, the darkness is not sad, but it refers to the person who is sad. Okay, here the darkness is not sad, but it refers to the sad people. So this poetic device is transferred epithet. So in this stanza we have seen the poetic devices use visual imagery, then alliteration, onomatopoeia, personification and transfer epithet. Let us see the second stanza. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into the busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So let us have a look at the difficult meanings. Tinkle means short, like light ringing sound, and shingle is rectangular wooden tiles which are used on roofs. Echo means repeated sound, and woof is a thread woven across the loom, it is like a thread, star जिसको हम बोलते हैं. Patter, again it is the sound of raindrops, and busy being here refers to human beings, and the poet is referring to himself. While using this word, he is referring to himself. So he says, every tinkle on the shingle has an echo in his heart. He says, whenever he listens, rain falling on the rooftop, the sound repeats in his heart. The sound echoes in his heart, and in his dreams, he has many different fanciful imagination. Means he imagines different images in his mind. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. Busy being here refers to the poet himself. And 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof, and I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. He said the sound of the rain falling on the rooftop creates many new dreams in his mind, and he also recollects many memories of the past. Means there are new dreams in his mind, and there are new memories in his mind also. So he says, when he listens to the patter of the raindrops, patter of the raindrops, sound of the raindrops, he has many dreams in his mind, and he has many memories of past which came to his mind in the form of these dreams. It seems that he is listening, he is paying attention to his own dreams while listening to the raindrops. Now let us see the poetic devices or literary devices. Here again alliteration is used. Busy being, both the words they are starting with B sound. Rain, roof, here also R sound is being repeated. Next poetic device which is used in this is hyperbole. Hyperbole means it is a poetic device which means when we exaggerate something, जैसे हम किसी चीज़ को बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलते हैं. It is a figure of speech that uses extreme exaggeration to make a point or show emphasis. So here in this phrases, and a thousand dreamy fancies, and a thousand recollection. It means thousand here means not exactly thousand, but the poet is exaggerating the thing. He wants to say many fancies, many imaginations, many recollections, many memories that came to his mind. And next again personification. As I have told you, it is treating a non-living thing as a living being. Weave their air threads in the womb. Here the dreams and recollections, dreams and memories are personified as they are. Okay. Then again transferred epithet. It is the use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun, as we have seen in first stanza also. Dreamy fancy. It doesn't mean that the fancies are dreamy, but it refers to the people who have dreams. Clear? The fancies, the imaginations are not dreamy, the imaginations are not having dreams, but it refers to the people who are having their dreams. Again onomatopoeia, that creates a dramatic effect or auditory imagery, as if we are listening all these things like tinkle and patter. These are the sounds made by raindrops, and an image came to our mind as if we are listening the sound of raindrops. Now stanza 3. Now in my memory comes to my mother as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look at me as I list on to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Here, means it is the old poetic word which means before. Dawn means daybreak, morning time, and list here is also used as a old poetic word which means listen. And refrain, it is also repeated sound, we can say repeated sound. Here in this poem the poet introduces his mother who is no more now. He is dreaming of his mother, and he remembers how she loved his children while they were sleeping and dreaming at night. He says, a memory comes to my mother as she used in years agone. Agone means now she is past, you can say. She is no more now, and he remembers his mother, and he remembers to regard the darling dreamers. He says he remembers how she loved her children, and while they are sleeping and dreaming at night, and she would let them sleep till daybreak and have sweet dreams. The poet and his siblings, they used to sleep at night, and the mother makes them comfortable so that they can have sound sleep, and they have sweet dreams also. The poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him as he listens to the sound made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his room. He feels as if she is still looking at him. She is still looking at him while he is listening to the pitter patter of the raindrops falling on the roof. And this pitter patter of raindrops seems to him like a song that is sung by his mother. The sound of rain makes him correlate his past with the present, memories of his mother with the present scenario, which is falling of rain. That is why the poet is moved by the sound of rain drops on the shingles of the room. Shingles means that is the wooden rectangular tiles which are used to make roof. And whenever he hears this sound, It brings back memories of the past, and he is also reminded of his mother. He always remembers his mother. Whenever he listens these pitter patter of rain, he always remembers his mother. So let us see the poetic devices used in this stanza 3. Again, alliteration is used, that is memory, my mother. As you can see, all these words, they are starting with M sound. Then darling dreamer, here also D sound is being repeated. Then onomatopoeia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect, that is patter. Patter is sound of raindrops that is falling on the shingles of the roof. So this is all about the poem. So let us see the setting, mood and theme of this poem. Setting here is the poet is lying comfortably snug in his bed with his head pressed against the pillow in a room in his cottage, and he is listening to the patter of soft rains as it falls on the shingles of the roof, and he is also remembering his mother. And his mood is a bit sad at this time, as he is remembering past memories of his childhood, and he is also remembering his mother who is no more. Now let us discuss the theme and message conveyed in this poem. The theme of the poem is about the healing power of rain, healing power of nature. The musical sound of raindrops falling on the rooftop at night has the ability to revive sweet memories and rouse fancies. Fancies means imagination in an otherwise busy mind. Otherwise his mind is very busy, but he remembers all these memories. The rain thus soothes and comforts an overworked mind by taking it back to its lovely past. So some of our best memory in life are associated with rain. We also remember something about our childhood when we enjoy the rain. Then the message conveyed in this poem is that nature has significant effect on humans, and falling of rain affects the emotions of the poet, and he begins to memorize his past and especially his mother and her love for him. In this way, the rain heals the poet's inner self as it heals the earth. As the rain heals the earth, it heals the inner self of the poet also. So the poet feels bliss while listening to the sound of the rain. He feels very happy. Thank you.